Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today, and as always, I hope this video finds you well. Now, of course, in this week's side quest, we have to talk about the PlayStation 5 and whether or not it lived up to the hype of consumers. Now, I know, that may be a bit of a rhetorical question. Maddie, I spent $500 on this machine, you bet your butt I'm gonna like this, even if I hate it deep down inside. But really, let's take a look at the entire launch from the software to the hardware issues, the UI, all of that good stuff, and see if it really lived up to what we had personally expected. Now, I'm going off my own experience and reading a couple of others online, such as reports with bugs and glitches that, while I did not experience them, a lot of other people did. So do know it's a blending of the two. Now, on the software front, when we're talking games between Miles Morales and Demon's Souls Remake, at least those are the two games I picked up here for my PlayStation 5 launch. Yes, they lived up to the hype. It is incredible to have this type of launch lineup right out of the box. And I know some of these games, like even Sackboy or Miles Morales, as I mentioned, you can pick up for your PlayStation 4. And I think that's why it may be worth for some folks to wait until a little bit deeper into the PlayStation 5's life cycle to actually pick up a console so that you're getting exclusive content for that, like say the newest Ratchet & Clank game coming out, or of course Gran Turismo 7. But as it stands now, I think there are some significant upgrades in the PlayStation 5 versions of Spider-Man. I was messing around mostly with Spider-Man Remastered to my surprise, and while I do sit in the camp of really not liking the new Peter Parker's face, even finally seeing it in action for myself, I have to say, playing that game in 60 FPS is incredible. What is even more incredible in my eyes is hopping into Demon's Souls Remake and playing this sucker at 60 FPS and it looking as good as it does. Out of everything I've played this year, to me this is the most true next-gen experience on a technical level. There are some more ancient parts of Demon's Souls Remake, as much as I love it. I'm talking about UWorld 3-1, but otherwise it has been a phenomenal experience. So on the software front, I really do think that PlayStation knocked it out of the park. I could not have imagined a better launch lineup, and I mean that genuinely. It is fantastic out of the box. Now, on the hardware front, when it comes to pretty much how the console's running and potential bugs and glitches that you may encounter, there were a number of them right off the bat. For example, putting your PS5 in rest mode was relatively dangerous, leading to potential crashes while it was in rest mode. And not only that, folks, but also if it were to have crashed in rest mode, there's a chance your entire console would have bricked. That is scary, especially in a world where Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War came out, and I gotta be honest with you all, I thought this game was really good, especially in the campaign department. Phenomenal campaign. But this is if you want to install everything, like a 200 gigabyte package on the PS5, and you bet your butt I'm downloading that overnight. And I did do that, so I got very lucky that my PS5 did not crash in rest mode while I was downloading all of that content, but some folks did not get as lucky. There are, of course, other bugs and glitches like DualSense malfunctioning to some extent, where pretty much what was happening is that you wouldn't be able to charge it out of the front USB port, and you'd have to charge it from the back of your console, which is just baffling. I don't know how exactly that happens. Now, it does seem like PlayStation released a patch for this, but there was even times where the PlayStation 5 would freeze up and switch off while running games, and a lot of folks didn't know what was going on with that, and that could suddenly stall or crash your system. Some had speculated it's something to do with the storage drive, but regardless, there were a lot of bugs and glitches out of the box, more so than I can recall personally from my experience and what I read online with the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. That's not to say that they were without their issues, but these seem like very significant out-of-the-box problems. Now, I imagine myself and many others did not have this happen to them, but it's still worth talking about because there was a lot of hype entering this new generation. There was a significant leap. We're seeing games from the PS4 running better than ever. Backwards compatibility is phenomenal on the PS5, right? Sony's awful messaging for backwards compatibility left a lot of people worried, but when you played it, you wondered how they didn't just go like, yeah, this is phenomenal, we can run some games at 60 FPS if it's uncapped, but man, it is phenomenal. So knowing you can carry that whole PS4 library with you is certainly a bonus. And for me personally, throughout my experience with the console, it did absolutely live up to the hype I had for it. Now, once again, I am lucky I did not experience any bugs and glitches, but while it did live up to the hype, I would say, of course, if you are not someone who has a work investment in the gaming ecosystem, or you don't have cash to blow, I would say absolutely wait on these consoles because they still are ironing things out in an overall chaotic year where there's a lot of working from home and it's not as easy to get certain things done, or if you weren't in one of those two categories I just previously listed, it's better to wait, because not only that, but as it stands now, no matter how much I like, say, Miles Morales on PS5, Demon's Souls Remake is currently the only next-gen exclusive game out there outside of technically Godfall. Let's not talk about that game, but you can only get that on a PS5 or the PC. And while I think it's certainly exciting to be a part of a brand new console launch, I gotta say, money-wise as well as worth your time-wise, avoiding these bugs and glitches, letting them solve some of the UI issues where a lot of things are buried in menus, letting more games come out, it's more worth your while to wait just a little bit longer. But overall, hype-wise, I feel satisfied as a consumer, but that is just my personal experience, and I'm looking forward to reading about yours in the comments down below, so please do fire away. And with that, I leave it in your hands. Stay sexy, stay active, I love you all, peace.